Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome to another episode of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. I am Marisha LaShay, and thank you guys for coming to the show. I am the host of this amazing show. With that being said, you guys, today is Thursday, day 17 of The Breakfast Show with Marisha LaShay. This show will be in effect for the next 13 days. And I'm so ecstatic, you know, for everything that has been forthcoming and everything that we've talked about. Meanwhile, first giving honor to God, who's the head of my life and all that I do. It's because of Him. That's the person that I always like to do, besides being able to introduce myself in the breakfast show. Meanwhile, of course, we're giving honor to Him. I definitely got to give my shout outs to you guys. Also, my dad just being at the start of this production in this show. It wasn't a big thing. It started off as an idea and it grew into something amazing. Thank my dad and shout out to my dad for being able to be a soundboard, but also provide insightful things to keep in mind, such as, okay, Mersh, you don't have to do this every day, but at least 4 times out of the year will be good. At least talking or coming on in the months that have 30 days, such as April, like this month, June, September, November. Speaking of November, this podcast started in the pandemic of 2020. This year we'll be celebrating 5 years come November 1st. So I'm definitely proud about what's going on. Since I've had the podcast, I've set goals for the podcast in regards to growth and projections. So one of my goals was to make sure that this platform was being used to expand into other countries. And that has been happening as of now. As of today, we are currently in 25 countries. And when I say we, that's me, that's you, because you are tuning in and none of it's possible without the community of supporters and people who are sharing and liking and even searching me up and subscribing to my YouTube page. Love to see it. Love it. That's my second point. Third, third, is also being able to expand my listening base, which was another goal of mine. And that is happening across all platforms that I'm currently on. Over 1,600 listeners. Thank you for your support. Thank you for allowing this to be possible for me, to be an inspiration to others who are scared to get out here and start a podcast because they think that they need fancy equipment. But you don't. You don't. Right now, I'm recording this video on StreamYard. I am using StreamYard as a platform to get my message out there. So, with that being said, I want to go ahead and move on into this mental check in, which is rated on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst day of my life and 10 being the best day of my life. Can I be below a 1? Absolutely. Can I be above a 10? Sure. Nobody can tell you how to feel as it relates to what you are feeling as you start your morning, right? As you start your morning. And I'm just like, okay, okay, yes, I'm here for it. So with that being said, I'm going ahead and drop my number of how I'm feeling and why. And then we're going to jump into the question of the day. But whatever platform that you are on, please feel free to drop it below in the comment section if you're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform you're on, and they have a section for you to, just kind of provide feedback or say anything. Go ahead if you feel led to. So with that being said, for today, I'm on 10 because since I woke up, I've been up for maybe about an hour now, and I've just been going to go get it. I definitely been going to go get it. It's early in the morning. When I used to do this show, it used to be 5, and right now, honey, it's 2. I rise early because I know that I have to get things done aside from, doing a show, posting and scheduling shows and things like that. But it's something to actually just take into consideration, of everything that I have to do. This show does not happen if I don't check in with God. This show doesn't happen if I don't align and actually write and actually sit down and make and sketch out the time and plan. And I'm like, I know that I never get an opportunity to really talk about the behind the scenes of having a podcast because it blows people away with me being an educator, a mom, and just everything that I'm doing. Oh, for real? How long you had your podcast? This is always the question. But going back to my first point, I'm on 10 because of this. Everything that I'm doing right now is for a reason. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to do so. So with that being said, you guys, please go ahead and drop how you feeling today, how you doing on a scale of 1 to 10, and why you're doing, right? Our question for today is, what is a computer? What is a computer? Very basic question, right? Wasn't expecting that. Okay, that's cool. Let's talk about what a computer is. A computer is an electronic device that processes, stores, and displays information. It can perform tasks like calculations, data entry, communication, gaming, graphic design, and so much more using the proper hardware, such as physical parts such as a keyboard, screen, and CPU, and software such as programs and applications. There are several types of computers. Let's talk about it. Desktops. Those are pretty stationary, such as at home, in cubicles. Powerful computers typically used at home or work. Okay. Laptops. They are portable computers with built in battery, screen, and keyboard. Tablets. They are touchscreen computers, more portable, often used for reading and browsing. A lot of places that you're starting to go to, such as restaurants, and even when people are out here doing their sales shop inside of Walmarts and things like that, they are using tablets for you to be able to, do whatever it is that you need to do. Servers, computers designed to manage network resources and store data. Supercomputers are extremely powerful machines used for complex calculations such as climate modeling or space research. Wow, that's amazing. The top 10 computer stats, okay? Over 2 billion computers are used worldwide, including desktop, laptops, and tablets. Laptops account for 60% of personal computer sales due to portability and remote work trends. So they mentioned about remote work. Some people do hybrid working, which they do a little bit work from home and go into an actual building. But also computers are used at school and as well as in hospitals and all sorts of places because we need them to be able to store data. Also, patients being able to have access to their patient portals. Same thing for students being able to have access to their portals when they're in school. Their parents can track their grades. We can also do video calling as well to be able to have meetings virtually through Zooms and different platforms. I'm using a computer right now to be able to do this podcast. So computers are very vital to what we do in our life day to day. The average lifespan of a computer is anywhere from 5 to 7 years before users upgrade or replace. Windows remain the dominant OS operating system, powering over 70% of desktop computers, followed by Mac operating system and Linux. Okay. Apple's MacBook is the most popular premium laptop brand, especially among creative and students. The average American home has at least two computers, often um, a combination of laptop, desktops, and tablets. Okay. When we think about the global PC shipments, it hit 270 million units, and that was back in 2023, with Lavario, HP, and Dell leading the market. Eight. That was like my seven stats. Eight. About 90% of office jobs require computer use for tasks such as emailing, data analysis, and content creation. Okay. Next stat. Over 80% of students worldwide use computers for schoolwork, especially for writing papers, attending online classes, and using educational tools. And most importantly, cybersecurity threats on computers increased by 30% since 2023, making antivirus software and secure passwords, more important than ever. So, wow. I just have to take a step back because you never realize how much you use or the importance of certain devices and things that allow our lives to be made easier. Because back in the day, they had a lot of papers. Like you had to deal with a lot of paper. They had data entry as a job. They used typewriters, but just the elevation and the step up of computers. This is amazing. They have operating systems, computers, and smartphones, kid friendly tablets. I mean, this just blows my mind so much that we use our phones and computers for. And I'm just truly thankful for the opportunity to have exposure to a device like this that's going to be able to help me to teach better, to make money. Thinking about all the different uses of a computer, you make money from a computer. You look at inventory on a computer. A computer is everywhere in every business in some shape or form, whether you're doing it from your phone, whether you got to hop on your desktop, your laptop to be able to do spreadsheets. I mean, all kind of stuff from designing, the creatives, it's amazing. Like technology is amazing. But what happens when your computer crash or it's have a virus or something? Can you imagine the cost it is to reset these operating systems and to get you back up and rolling? That's the one. That's the thing that really um kind of make me think for a second. You know, I'm just like, I thank God because sometimes I want to leave my laptop at home, but then I think about, no, you can't because you need it for this. You got to do grades, you got to do attendance. We do attendance online. You know what I'm saying? We pull our lessons from online. I'm just like, dang, what is it that we don't do online? It really amazes me. We check emails from the principal. I mean, all kind of stuff is going online. Whether you got to do some research, whether you got to go to class online. So, y'all, with that being said, I hope today you learned something and it just made you, show appreciation for the use of computers and why we use them and the importance. Um, Man, I'm still blown away. So, y'all, with that being said, I will talk to y'all tomorrow, same time, same place, coming with the same energy. Thank you guys for tuning in. That is all for me from The Breakfast Show. So, bye. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.